Welcome to NEXTGames Geas Fete series. This one covering Escha Ru'Aun Tier 1 Non-Caturae NMs. In this video, I'll give a brief overview of the Escha Ru'Aun Tier 1 NMs, show battle examples of fighting them, and I'll do all of this on the ninja job with the warrior sub job. Now this series will cover how to defeat all of the Escha NMs on your way to an Ionic weapon. Ninja can solo all but roughly 10 of these, and I will show you how to solo all but those 10, and then we'll finish the series with showing you strategies for beating the most challenging NMs, normally involving a summoner strategy. The NMs in Ru'Aun are far more challenging than those in Zeta, so we will have a bit more to go over for these before we do the run. I'll give an overview of what to expect from these NMs in the video first, and then I'll show you the battle examples with tips in the lower right hand corner, just like we've been doing in previous videos. Now these NMs drop accessories and abjurations that can be used to turn into armor. Today, we will be going over the 6 T1 non-Caturae NMs. Now each of these have their own individual things to watch for, so let's go over them briefly before showing battle examples of each. The first of these NMs is Wasserspear. Wasserspear will cast Arrow 5, Arrow 6, Tornado 2, Aeroga 3, Aeroja, and AoE Enfeebles. Now, there are 3 modes that this NM can be in. The first is standing mode, which will just take normal damage. The next is sitting mode. Now, during this mode, Wasserspear will not attack and takes minus 40% physical damage, but increased magic damage. Also during this time, he has a regen of 1% per tick. Now, I recommend you just skill chain through this because the physical damage down isn't so much that you can't get him out of this mode within a few seconds. The last of the 3 modes is flying mode, where you cannot melee the NM, and where the NM will only land after using Dark Orb. Now during this phase, I recommend that you simply just nuke and use your elemental ninjutsu spells to do as much damage as possible until he lands. That'll also help in feeding him as much TP as you can, so that hopefully he lands as quickly as possible. The only other dangerous move he has is called Terror Eye, which will terrorize you for a good period of time, usually 30 to 60 seconds. Now at low hit points, he does gain access to Shadow Burst, which is a curse AoE ability that will reduce everyone's maximum hit points and magic points by 50%. The next NM we're going to talk about is Imputa, which is an Imp NM whose normal attacks possess End Dispel. Imputa will use Thunder 4, Burst 2, Sleepga, and Graviga. The abilities you'll see him use is Stifling Tantra, which is an AoE silence and damage ability, Granting Tantra, which is an AoE amnesia and damage ability, Dark Recital, which is by far the most dangerous move, which is an AoE damage and full dispel and paralyze, Bugle Call, which is a bio aura ability, and then Frenetic Grip, which is simply a 3-hit attack that is normally blocked by your shadows. The next NM we're going to cover is Pyrithus. Pyrithus is going to cast different elemental spells, and take note of that because whichever spell they're casting, that elemental type is also what Pyrithus will absorb. Underneath 50% hit points, Pyrithus can also use Meteor, so be careful of that. Now these first 2 abilities we're going to go over are definitely the most dangerous. The first one is Scintillant Lance, which is a conal high damage frontal ability, and the other one is Acheron Kick, which is a conal high damage rear facing ability. Now Pyrithus will use both of these regardless of where the target of hate is, so you want to make sure you have your trust on the side so that they don't get hit with either of these, as it can one-shot them. Grace of Hera will do Dispel of all the debuffs on Pyrithus, and give Pyrithus a potent regen. And then the last thing that can happen is Damsel Memento, which will restore 5% hit points to Pyrithus, and once again dispel all debuffs. The next NM we're going to talk about is Aceta. Now Aceta is going to switch between Spiky Head mode and Smooth Head mode. Now in Smooth Head mode, it's going to cast magic more frequently, resist magic damage, and is weak to physical damage. In Spiky Head mode, which is definitely the more dangerous of the 2, he gains a significant attack and defense bonus, as well as resistance to physical attacks. However, he will take increased magical damage. He will also gain access to the most dangerous abilities in this Spiky Head mode of Amorphic Spikes and Amorphic Scythe, so definitely watch out for those. Now, I normally just try to weapon skill, skill chain, and magic burst for the entire fight so that I'm always doing some form of damage that Aceta is weak to. The next NM we'll talk about is Tenodera. Now Tenodera will level up after every use of the Auxenerator ability, so you want this fight to go as quickly as possible. Tenodera will also normally finish the fight with a move called Death Prophet, which is a conal death ability. Now I have found that if you kill him fast enough, in about under 2 minutes, he will not use this move. Therefore, that's what you want to try and do, is kill him as quickly as you can under that 2-minute timer. Otherwise, this NM just has lots of conal and AoE abilities, so just keep your shadows up and he shouldn't be too difficult. The sixth and final NM is Safa Sevinovic. Now Safa will cast various fire-based spells in increasing potency as Safa gets lower in the hit point range. Safa also possesses a very high level of fast cast. Now this is another fight you want to go as quickly as possible, and you may want to use a Savior's Tonic or have Holy Waters ready, as he can use Eternal Damnation, which inflicts doom. He also uses all the other normal vampire moves, such as Nosferatu's Kiss, which thankfully does not charm, Minax's Glare, which inflicts terror, and Dirty Breath, which inflicts zombie status. Now we're going to be going with my conservative trust setup that does not get in my way. This includes Omia and Joachim for marches, Arcelia for haste, Koromoro can also be used here, and Monborough and Yoran Oran for cures. Note that Sylvie or other good white mages can also work in those final 2 slots. If you find you're having problems with any of these NMs, try substituting Archivi or August for Omia so that you can focus more on damage while they hold hate. Okay, let's go ahead and see what these battle examples look like. Enjoy the runs, everyone. And that's going to be it for the second set of Tier 1 NMs in Escha Ru'Aun. In the next video in the Geas Fete series, we will cover T2 NMs. I hope you found that helpful, everyone. Thanks so much for watching. Stay safe and stay healthy.